Hello, boys and girls. Welcome back to Fog's World. Welcome back. I know, I'm late. I'm late this time. Yeah, well, I warned you that I was going to be away taking my son to college the other weekend, and I did manage to get an episode ready and out in time for that before I left, but since then, it's just been one thing after another. This last weekend, I was with my wife in Vancouver. She was running the BMO Vancouver Marathon, and she did a PR, which means personal record, for those of you that don't know those things, which is awesome for her, and I'm super proud of her, and it was a lot of fun, and I'm glad that I got to go do that with her. But it does mean that I didn't really get much time to prepare for this episode, and it's why we're a day late. So, sorry about that. So I was thinking, what could I do for an episode this week that would be interesting and that you guys would enjoy, but that wouldn't require a whole lot of work from me because I don't really have time to do anything and get it to you. I mean, I only just got back in town last night and I had to go to work today. So, what I thought was I've been collecting questions in the event that we ever reached another subscriber milestone. I've been collecting fan questions for a Q&A, and I thought, you know what, that day might be a long time coming, so let's just go through the fan questions that I have. So in no particular order, we're going to do a Q&A, and we're going to start here up top my little platform. This, by the way, is my platform for optimizing the spawn in that mob grinder you see right there. This is high enough that only that mob grinder has spawning spaces. So right now they should be spawning like mad down in there. Anyway, so let's get to it, shall we? So the first question was, when did I first start playing Minecraft? Well, I can't remember exactly when, but I think it was probably about 4 years ago, 5 years ago, something like that. No, it must have been about 5 years ago. It was during the initial beta. I didn't quite get in for alpha, so it was during beta. It was before the official release, of course. So I've been playing for quite a while, not as long as some out there, but quite a while. Next question. What do I do for a living? Well, I am a computer programmer, a software engineer. I have been doing this since the mid-'80s, so it's been a long time. I'm one of those older fellows. I have been technically in the industry for 25 years, going on, more than 25 years. So, yeah, there you go. I spent almost 20 years at Microsoft. Some of that time I spent working on Xbox games. If you have ever played NFL Fever or any of the other games that came out of the Microsoft Sports Studio back in the original days of the original Xbox, you've played games that used my code. So there you go. That's what I do. I also run an online game store that, to be honest, I don't really spend much time running anymore, which is why if you go up on that game store, you'll find that the stock is kind of woefully lacking. It's because, quite frankly, I don't have time to do it and it doesn't pay very much. So it was always a hobby. It is now kind of a languishing hobby. So, sorry. And I also have a number of games on the iOS App Store. Probably the best of which is a game called Tichu, T-I-C-H-U. If you have an iOS device, I highly recommend you download it. And not just because I wrote it, it just happens to be a really good game. It's based on, it is an iOS adaptation of a very good non-traditional card game. Very good card game. So, great game. Tichu. Go get it. T-I-C-H-U. Okay, next question. Again, in no particular order. So, next question. Why don't I have more subscribers? Well, I can think of lots of reasons why I don't have more subscribers. Probably the number one reason is, folks, this is not my job. This is not what I do for a living. This is a hobby, and it will permanently remain a hobby. There is no way that making YouTube videos, even if I got 1 million subscribers, I suspect there is no way that making YouTube videos will earn me more money and more satisfaction than my current job. So, yeah, sorry guys. If you're looking for the days when HFoG is going to go do permanent YouTube videos and release multiple videos a day, and no, that's not going to happen because it doesn't pay enough to be anything more than a hobby. So, sorry. Okay. Next question. Will I ever show my face on camera? Well, that's it. You're looking at it. That's me. I know that's not quite what you meant, but it is actually kind of a reasonable facsimile thereof. But no, I really am not. I'm not likely to show my face on camera. I'm not going to say never, but I'm not really likely to show my face on camera because, while I don't have a whole lot of anonymity, I do have at least some, and it's not something that I feel I need to do. So, sorry. And next question, what do I use to record my videos? Well, go to the About section of my channel and you can find all of the details about my setup. But, hopefully you can't hear my son's lawnmower in the background. If you do, I apologize. One records when one has time. I am recording on a relatively high-end iMac. You can check out all the specs on the About page there. The reason I use an iMac is because I really like Macintosh products. I like Apple products. I have a number of iOS games that I've worked on over the years. So you're going to do iOS development, you're going to use a Mac. I also like PCs. I spent most of my career doing PC software. I run a PC at work right now. There you go. By the way, I do not currently work for Microsoft. I didn't quite finish up that question. I do not currently work for Microsoft. I work for another high-tech company in the Seattle, Washington area, and no, I don't really care to tell you exactly which one. But there you go. These days, I don't write nearly as much software as I do help other people write software. I'm a manager. So that's what I do. Next question. Hey, HFoG, will you come play on my server? Probably not. Probably not. And this all comes down to YouTube being a hobby, and it is not even my most important hobby. My most important hobby is spending time with my family. So this kind of comes third behind my work and my family. I don't know. You could even say there are other things that come in front of it as well, such as my community commitments, my church commitments, things like that. This comes pretty low on the list of priorities for me. And that doesn't leave me a whole lot of time to play. And you get to see most of the fruits of my gameplay right here on this channel. So, yeah, there you go. All right. Let's see. Being a developer, would you consider developing mods and stuff for Minecraft? Or do you consider Minecraft just a game for you? I've thought about maybe doing a mod at some point, but I always decide that it's more work than I really want to invest into this game. These days, I don't have a whole lot of free time, as I already mentioned, and doing any kind of outside development outside of my job these days is going to be very difficult. So, not going to do that. Sorry. Also, what main programming language do you use most? Well, most of my career was working with C++. These days, I spend most of my time in C#. When I'm doing iOS stuff, of course, I'm using Objective-C, and I've dabbled a little bit in Swift. There are a bunch of other languages that I've used over the years, but those are the big ones. Next question. Why don't you use view bobbing? Oh, I get this all the time. So many people go, hey, Fog, turn on view bobbing. Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, I don't really like view bobbing that much. It kind of makes me, after I've done view bobbing for a serious length of time, I get a little bit motion sick. Not really fond of that too much. And honestly, I just like the smooth movement without the view bobbing. I get that a lot of people like it. Totally understand. Not a problem. For me, not so interested in doing the view bobbing. The next question is, what does that symbol mean? Well, I will show you. This is where it comes from. This is my original base. This is the sky base from Fog's World Season 1. And it has a bunch of little circular pads laid out. And that is really all there is to it. It just is that. So nothing fancy, nothing special. It's just, that's what this base is. There you go. That's it. There is no special meaning. It just, that's what it is. Next question. What other games have I played that brought me as much value as Minecraft? Ooh, that's a tough one. Nothing? Maybe? I don't know. Minecraft is certainly one of the games that I have played more than any other. And I played a lot of games. So, I don't know. There are lots of games that I have liked over the years. I really liked the original Halo. I really liked a lot of the old classic games from the 80s, arcade games. And, I was inspired by the old 80s arcade games. Games on the old Nintendo system. Lots of stuff. The Ultima series was a big inspiration for me. Really liked the Ultima series. Played Ultima Online for many years. That was the last massively multiplayer online game, and probably the first, that I really played to any significant amount, because once I realized they were such a time sink, I kind of moved away from them. So there you go. Next question was, what was the issue with AdSense? Some of you that have been around on my channel for a long time might remember that for a while, Google decided to, or I guess YouTube or somebody, decided to revoke my AdSense channel privileges, and if you don't have an AdSense account, you can't get paid for putting YouTube content. You can't monetize YouTube content without an AdSense account. Why did it happen? They have yet to tell me. I have no idea. What happened to change their mind? Again, I have no idea. I very politely sent some emails to some people, which was difficult because it's hard to figure out who to send them to, but I did. I posted a video complaining about it politely. And, posted some messages in some forums asking, hey, what can I do? And eventually they were magically restored. I have no idea. So there you go. Next question. What country am I from? Well, I am American. I am a citizen of the United States. I live in Seattle, Washington. I was born in the United States and raised here. I did spend 2 years of my life living in Brazil, so I do speak Portuguese, as well as American English. I don't speak Portuguese terribly well, mas falo suficiente para conversar. Posso bater papo com gente. Which says I speak well enough to speak conversationally, more or less. Next question. Where did I get this lovely skin? Well, I made it myself. Probably a better question is why? Why am I wearing a crown and why do I have a sash? The simple answer to that is before I started making YouTube videos, I was getting into Minecraft and my kids were into Minecraft. And for a while we had a private server, and one of the very first things that I built on our private family server was a gigantic castle complete with an operating portcullis and castle gate and all sorts of stuff. And I figured since it was my family's server and since I was running it, it was a bucket server, by the way, back when that made sense to me. I figured why not create a skin that shows me as being the king of the server. So that's where I got my skin from. And I've just never bothered to change it. Next question. What is my programming language of choice? Probably my favorite programming language is C++. Second to that would be C#, I guess. I've certainly done a lot of other stuff, assembly language, all sorts of stuff. Next question, where do I come up with ideas for my builds? Well, I watch a lot of other people on YouTube, and I'm sure some of you have noticed I borrow a lot of ideas. But, you know, that's kind of how things happen. You watch something, it gets you thinking, and you decide, well, that seems like something that would be fun to do. And so you do it. Next question, why did I start posting videos for Minecraft? Well, why did I start posting Minecraft videos? Well, why not? It just seemed like something that was fun to do. You know, some of my early inspirations were people like Etho. Actually, Etho's probably the biggest early inspiration for what I've done. And obviously, I've copied some of his ideas over the time, and I still watch his channel pretty regularly. Which leads to the next question, which is, what other YouTubers do I watch? Well, it's a long list, and I'll probably forget some people, but obviously Etho is one of them. I've watched MUMBO Jumbo since his channel just first started. Love his stuff, although I don't watch everything he does. Izuma, DocM77, Impulse, Seth Bling, Cube Hamster, Generic B, B00. That's just to name a few. There are a lot of people. I'm sure I've left off some people. Myzuma, for example, Cass, the Myzuma channel. Really like his stuff, and it helps that he's Brazilian, so that's kind of nice. I'm sure I've left some people out, but those are probably the biggest, maybe? I don't know. I don't watch everything they do because I just don't have time. I pick and choose. I tend to watch looking for things that I might want to build myself or improve upon. I look for ideas. I look for things that I can spark my own creative whatever. So, do I play other worlds off camera for fun? Nope, just this one pretty much. I have a test world. I have this. That's all I have time for. I occasionally will spin up a server and play with one of my kids. Very rarely. Occasionally just get on. We'll do a little multiplayer just for grins, but we usually run out of steam with that. Future plans for the channel? Don't really have any right now. Probably going to keep doing this for a while. If at some point someone invited me to join one of the larger servers, and I know it sounds egotistical and snobbish. I don't mean it to, but given my time constraints, I kind of have to be picky and choosy. So if someone from one of the more established servers, and I think you know which ones I mean, were to invite me, I would consider it. I would think about it. It wouldn't be an automatic slam dunk, yes, I would do it. It would have to be something that would help me grow the channel, and I would have to feel that I could give it enough time to really make it work. It's a tough call. It's a really tough call. So far, I haven't had to make that because none of the big guys have approached me. So I haven't had to make that choice. Other than that, I will probably continue doing these once a week for as long as it continues to interest me. I occasionally post a small how-to video or a build tutorial. And I will occasionally post small series about other games that I kind of like, such as the Grim Fandango thing that I just released. I know not a lot of you watched that, for which I'm kind of sad because I really love that game. But that's okay. I don't mind if people don't like it, or if people do, it's great. Next question. Does my family know about my channel and what do they think? Absolutely they know. It's kind of hard to not know when Dad goes off and records for an hour or two early in the morning. Next question. When do I usually record? How do I do that? I usually, not always, usually record early in the morning, like about 6 a.m. or something my time. And then I will edit that over. I will record and edit over a course of several days, usually finishing things up over the weekend. Depends on what I've got planned and how long it takes to do it. What does my family think about my channel? They think it's great. My wife's a little puzzled by it all, but my kids think it's awesome. What games have I worked on and which was my favorite? Well, I already mentioned that a little bit. The things that you would know about would be the Xbox games, NFL Fever. Some of my code is in NHL Rivals. Some of my code is in Topspin. And Amped has some of my code in it, although primarily I worked on NFL Fever. I also have TeachU in the App Store and another game called Mew, and I've done a bunch of other stuff. Of all the games I've done, the thing I am most proud of is probably TeachU, because it was extremely hard to get an iOS device to play a fairly good version of TeachU. It's a very difficult game, and it took a lot of work to get that AI to be as good as it is. And it isn't perfect, but it's good enough. So go play it. Another shameless plug there. Go get TeachU. Next question. Would I ever host a server just to hang out, build, and maybe record together for fun? I don't know. Maybe. I've occasionally thought about maybe trying to boost this channel by doing a Patreon server. Maybe. I'd have to gauge interest. Again, my time's really limited, what with my job and all, so... And I don't really want to get into the business of maintaining a server. I'm sure you know how that goes, some of you. So, yeah, maybe, big time maybe. I do often pop up a simple server, just using localhost for my kids. That's different. That's just for my kids. Last question, would I ever consider playing a modded version of Minecraft? Well, actually, I have played modded versions of Minecraft. I do it on a very limited basis. Not too interested in doing it as a series because I have enough on my plate just doing this one. And the biggest problem I have with modded Minecraft is the learning curve. It takes a long time to learn a new set of mods. And part of the appeal, I think, of Fog's World is everything I do here is pure vanilla Minecraft that anybody who can buy Minecraft and run it can do. You don't have to be smart enough to know how to install mods, although I have done it. I do know how to do it. It's not hard, but I prefer the vanilla experience. Oh my gosh, that was probably too much of me talking, but I can't think of anything else to say now, guys. As always, thanks for watching. Those of you that stuck through this talky episode, I hope you enjoyed what you heard. I hope this was interesting. If you have any more questions, please feel free to ask. Put it in the comments below. I always read the comments. I often answer the comments in the comments section. I love hearing your comments and your suggestions. If you have any ideas for things you'd like me to build, please post them. Any suggestions for the channel, post those. I really appreciate it. I love doing this. It's a fun hobby, and I will continue doing it as long as people seem to be interested in having me do it. So as always, guys, thanks for subscribing. Thanks for watching. Thanks for hitting that like button and helping people find my videos. And I will talk to you all again next week when hopefully I'll have a real episode for you. Hopefully I'll find the time to do that. So anyway, guys, thanks again for watching, and I will talk to you later. Bye-bye.